Good evening. How are you? This is not going to be a full show, but we're online. Yeah, we're online. I'm Bill, and you're watching Bill's Box of Sound, and this is streaming show number 5. Not going to be a full show tonight because best laid plans got messed up. Excuse me. But I do want to talk a little bit about what's happened in the past couple weeks, because last time that I had a show on was 3 Saturdays ago, and I said I'm not going to have any show for the next 2 Saturdays, even though I try to do every other Saturday. And what happened is that I was on vacation in Canada. And excuse me, man, a lot of sinus trouble with this weather. Bleh. Anyway, so I was in Canada for the last couple weeks, and just a normal family vacation, and did get to go and meet a new friend and go record shopping at the same time. What am I talking about? There's a guy who lives up in Stokes Bay, which is in the northern Bruce Peninsula of Ontario. And he purchased what used to be a general store and also the house that was attached to it and made it his home. But the general store, what used to be a general store, is now a record shop. He's got this place decked out so cool. And I'll probably do more on this. Maybe I'll post some pictures on the Bill's Box of Sound Facebook page. I'm not too sure. Maybe I won't. But like I said, I had planned a lot more for tonight, and now I just things happened in the last hour that prevented me from doing the show, so I apologize. Anyway, so the guy's name is Paul, and he has named his store I'm a Vinyl Junkie. And he's got a real cool uh, logo that was designed in conjunction with the original bass player for the Kinks. More about that in another episode. Anyway, he only sells by appointment, and I made an appointment with him and stopped up there. Me and my wife spent about an hour, 2 hours actually, talking to him, and I was browsing through records, bought a few things. One thing I listened to last night, which is really good, was I got this. This is the first Vangelis solo album after he disbanded Aphrodite's Child. It's called Earth. It is from 1973, and I had never heard it before. I mean, if you're a frequenter to this show, you know that that I love Vangelis, and I had a lot of his albums, but I had never heard this one and never seen this one in the wild. So I picked this up, listened to it last night. Damn good. Another record that I picked up. Hang on while I grab it. Where is it? I know I got it somewhere close by. Come on, kids. Where is it? Here it is. This record here. Gun. Now, this is a 60s psychedelia album. Oh, this is cool. The original bag that this came in. Back then, records came in plastic sleeves. But anyway, yeah, this came out like 69, 70 or something like that. And this is the very first record cover that was designed by Roger Dean, who went on to become famous for doing uh, the record covers by Yes and Uriah Heep and other people as well. And you take a look at these guys here. Let's see if we can see it on the screen. We got Paul Curtis, we got Adrian Curtis, and Louis Farrell, the drummer. Now, Paul and Adrian Curtis, that's not their real last name. They ended up changing their name back to their real last name, and they're known as Paul and Adrian Gervitz. Yeah, you ever heard of the Gervitz Baker Army? These guys are serious players. This is psychedelic bordering on progressive with a lot of heavy guitars on this, and this is some awesome stuff. Um, Little ancient epic label, and Paul was nice enough to clean this in his ultrasonic cleaner when I was there, so that was very nice of him. And I picked up a couple of other things as well. So anyway, so I've heard of the Olivia Tremor Control. I'm not, uh, I am not familiar with their music though. So I will have to look into that. I've heard that name before, but I'm not completely familiar. Anyway, coughing again, drinking water again. So where was I? I was in Canada from July 8th through July 18th and came back then. And except for a couple of moments here and there, maybe once or twice a day, I had no internet, no cell service, which was kind of a mixed blessing because you want to stay off of your devices when you're on vacation and you're going out into the wilderness. I mean, we stay at a cottage, which is right on the shore of the Georgian Bay, and we pump the water up from the bay, and we drink the water, and we have electricity, but we do not have communications. There's no television stations that we can receive. Years ago, we used to be able to receive television stations up there, but now we do not. But it was nice to get away, nice to have some peacefulness, sit by the shore in the boathouse and just sit and have a beer and enjoy, listen to some music or just listen to the water lapping against the rocks. So that was very nice. Um, so I get back home and I'm seeing all of this uproar in the vinyl community. And you know what I'm going to be talking about if you have been active in the vinyl community. This whole mobile fidelity thing. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to put it in a real small capsule and you can go out and do your own research. Michael Esposito from the In Groove record store in Phoenix, Arizona, broadcasted a rumor that all Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab And let's see, where do I have a Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab record close by? Here, I'll just grab over here. I'll grab a Elvis Costello record. Say, for example, this one. This is a Mobile Fidelity record. It says original master recording on the top, and some of the recordings say Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab at the top. So that's their trademark. They've been producing audiophile records since the 1970s. Okay? So he broadcasted that the rumor was that all Mobile Fidelity records since 2015 have been sourced from digital sources. Now, Mobile Fidelity has a big reputation as a high fidelity record and super audio CD producer. They've been doing it forever. They were like the originators of the audiophile market as far as rock and roll or non-classical stuff. I mean, direct-to-disc records were already starting to be popular, you know. And Mobile Fidelity even sparked, hold on a second here, competing companies such as Nautilus, Superdiscs. This is not a Mobile Fidelity record. This is a Nautilus, Superdisc. Superdisc. And also, there's a company called Direct Disc Labs who did put out direct disc records, but they also put out Jean-Luc Ponty's Cosmic Messenger. I also have like the first Peter Gabriel album that was done with this label. These are all half-speed masters. And excuse me. So, Scotty Strychnine, hello. How you doing, buddy? Saw you last night on Grown Man Record Night. Thanks for joining us. Anyway, so Michael Esposito's rumors were also echoed by Michael Ludwig's of 45 RPM audiophile, and also by Michael Fremer of what used to be Analog Planet and is now Tracking Angle. If you're a fan of Michael Fremer and you haven't seen any videos from him lately, his new YouTube channel is called Tracking Angle. And to fill in the blanks on that story is he has left the company that was hosting his Analog Planet website, and he's now starting a whole new thing, which is revisiting his old Tracking Angle magazine, and more is going to come in the future. But so far we've got Michael Esposito from the In Groove, Michael Ludwigs from Stuttgart, Germany, and Michael Fremer from the US and Tracking Angle. And Michael Esposito went out to Sebastopol, where Mobile Fidelity is, and did a video where he talked to the Mobile Fidelity mastering engineers for about an hour. And basically, it was confirmed that a lot of the Mobile Fidelity releases are not analog transfers from the original tape. The original master tape is always part of the process, but what they do is they go to wherever the master tape is with their equipment, and they do what's called a DXD file, which is a digital recording process that is like more than 32 times the standard sample rate and many much higher bit depth rates than most digital. And they do this so that they can have full control over the signal and make the best sounding record as far as they are concerned. This is their mission. This is what they do. This is their special way of making the sausage. It's their secret ingredient. It's what Mobile Fidelity has done to make records the way that they do. But they have not always been transparent about it. They've always given the illusion that their stuff was analog sourced and analog cut. But they didn't talk about all the digital stuff that was happening in between. So it is true that Mobile Fidelity does use a lot of digital technology in making their records. But you know what? A lot of them are damn good records. They're great sounding records. Sometimes they're not. They've had some records that have been absolutely terrible. One of the best ones, and I will just grab a copy of it right here because my findings have been echoed by other people, is Beck's Sea Change. Man, this is one great sounding version of a great album. This is really hard to find. If you do find it, you're going to pay hundreds of bucks for it. I got the Record Store Day copy, which is on pink vinyl, and it is a 2-record set. Man, this is one unbelievably great sounding record. Whether it's digital or not is none of our concern. It's a good sounding record, okay? So, there's also another video that was done by Michael at Poetry on Plastic. You notice that all the people that are, the big reporters in this all have the first name Michael. This is crazy. So ever since I've gotten back from Canada, I've been watching video after video after video after video of people chiming in on this Mobile Fidelity thing. And the end result is probably going to end up being that Mobile Fidelity will be keeping their process a lot more transparent in the future. And they are pledging to, on their website, have a list of all their releases and what their source is and how it was done. So, what the hey? What's going to happen, huh? So that's that. And as far as I'm concerned, it's just turned into a big pissing contest. The records sound great for the most part. And to repeat what I already said, they do have some records that are not that great sounding. And you can find that out by just doing a little bit of research. So, much success to Mobile Fidelity. I hope they do exactly what they say they're going to do and that we get this all cleared out. In the meantime, Analog Productions has announced that they're going to put out a super audio CD of the surround sound mix of Pink Floyd's Animals. Talk about another great record. And that album has been remixed for stereo and 5.1 as well by James Guthrie. If you don't know this album and you like Pink Floyd, get on the bus. No. Get in a speeding car. Run, do not walk. Knock over cats, dogs, women, babies to get this record or just listen to it online. Don't hurt anybody. Never, ever. So that's what's going on with that. Now, okay, I've been here for 20 minutes, and there's 14 people watching. So, hey, good to see all of you. And I'm sorry I don't have a full show completed this week. But I thought, what the hey? People always love them, even though they're boring as hell. We've got unboxings. I just ordered these. So I'm going to open them up here. I ordered these from Amazon. And one of them is kind of an analog production thing because they helped along with it. It is the poll winners with Barney Kessel, Shelly Manne, Ray Brown. This is from the Contemporary label, and this is put together with the assistance of Analog Productions, and all analog mastering from the original tapes by Bernie Grundman. And this is pressed on 180-gram vinyl at Quality Record Pressing. So very much looking forward to this. I sampled this online. It's a hot record. So looking forward to hearing that. And another unboxing. So let's pop this open. I got another record that's on the way, but of course, Amazon in their wonderfulness has delayed things. Ooh, I'm really interested in this one. On the Blue Note Classic Vinyl Series, George Braith with Grant Green, Billy Gardner, and Clarence Johnston. And the name of the album is Extension. Now, George Braith on this album plays tenor, soprano, and alto sax. And I first became aware of him on, let's see if I've got the record right over here, in my letter P's and O. Stop looking at my ass. Stop looking at my ass. Oh, here it is. Is this it? Yeah. All right. This is one of those crappy releases that were direct metal mastered in the 80s on Blue Note. It's by Big John Patton, and it's called Blue John. Now, this album was recorded in 1963, but it was never released until 1985. And this is a cool record. Very funky. It's Big John Patton on organ, Tommy Turrentine on trumpet, Grant Green on guitar, Ben Dixon on drums, and George Braith on soprano, sax, and stritch. What is a stritch? It's kind of like I think that Rahsaan Roland Kirk played something like this. It's a reed instrument that produces more than one tone at once, kind of like two tones in harmony. I'd have to do more research on that. But this is the first album that I heard George Braith on. And here it says Braithwaite, George Braithwaite. But on here, it says George Braith. So go figure. Anyway, let's put that away. Arr. This led me to search out George Braith records, and I got a couple. I pulled them out here as soon as I find them, because I know they're close by. Is this it? Here's one. I thought I had another one. I know I got another one here someplace. I could have sworn I had another George Braith album. Okay, well, I guess I'll just have to show this one. One more check. Nope. Dollar Brand, Brand X. Let's see. Patty Brown. Okay. Either I misfiled this or it's in a pile of stuff that I've already played. So I'll show you this one. Two Souls in One. I believe that this is not a real official. This is kind of like a gray market Blue Note record. And this has George Braith on soprano, sax, and stritch, Grant Green on guitar, Billy Gardner on organ, and Donald Bailey on drums, who used to play a lot with Jimmy Smith. And This is a record this is one of the Scorpio pressings of Blue Note. Now, how do you know a Scorpio pressing? What is a Scorpio pressing anyway? Scorpio was a record company that put out a lot of inexpensive vinyl at a time when CDs were number one and people wanted some Blue Note records. And they got them pressed through a company called Rainbow, which is now out of business. And uh, United Record Pressing in Nashville bought all their presses and they're putting them online. But back when these came out, like in the early 2000s, you can tell one of these gray market Blue Note records by the address on the back. It says 304 Park Avenue South. See that? If you see that on a Blue Note record, chances are this was made from a master that was a compact disc. Strangely enough, these records do sound better than most CDs, though. But there it is. Good old Blue Note, George Braith, Two Souls in One. But I believe he's playing a stretch on this cover. Check that out. Crazy stuff. So I'm looking forward to hearing both of those. And let's see, what was the other thing that I was going to do? Oh, yeah. Hey, it's Mikey Bananas. He's watching. Hey, hello, Grown Man Record Night. Very nice. And Scotty Stricknine says that he's got a few of those gray market Scorpio Blue Notes. Yep, Lou Donaldson, Charles Mingus, stuff like that. And let's see. Zeb says, I've been binging and ordering tons of Soft Machine. Nice. Very nice. Soft Machine is some good British jazz. All right, so here is a response. I was going to make a separate video of this, but I don't think it really warrants an official response because, well, I'll get into why because in a second here. Vinyl Richie made a video that was, I believe, a contest video for a guy. It's TKN something or other. Let me find it real quick here. Let me just go here and to my history on YouTube. And let's see. There it is. TKR. This is, TKR VideoCentral. Vinyl Richie wants people to make a video for this guy's contest, and he wants them to subscribe to this guy's channel because he likes him. And this guy makes a video every day of what he says are, what's he call them? He calls them, let's see, TC's Daily Obscuria. And he plays a song and he puts text on the screen which has facts about the artist and the song and other things. But what's odd is that a lot of these songs really are not obscure. They're old hits, old top 40 hits from back in the day. And very different from most vinyl community channels. I really give the guy a thumbs up for trying. I watched one of his videos where he talks. He's on camera. And overall, I wasn't impressed by the channel. I wish him luck. I wish him many, 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 many subscribers. But because I really wasn't interested in the channel, I did not subscribe. I watched a few of his videos, but I was not interested enough to subscribe. And anytime that you watch a video, a vinyl video that you like, by all means, subscribe to the channel. It'll help you out. All right. So, Vinyl Richie made a video for this guy's channel. And the contest is to make a video of 10 records that you don't think anybody else in the vinyl community has. And Richie went ahead and did this. And I started pulling out records. Now, I'm not saying nobody else has these. I'm just saying that these are really obscure records. And I would bet that the majority of people do not have these. So, let's start with this one. I've shown this before, just for laughs. This is a laugh record. It's recordings of nothing but laughs. It's really crazy, and some of them are just people laughing or trying not to laugh or cracking up. And sometimes there's music in the background. There's also a fake laugh track where it sounds like the laughing audience on a TV show. And then there's a whole second side, which is eavesdropping at a Hollywood party. That's weird. And it's on the image label. So I had never seen this, and I thought, what the hey? Get it. So that's one. Number two. Robin Williams, Reality, What a Concept. Now, Reality, What a Concept was the name of Robin Williams' first comedy record, which, let's see, let me pull out my other copy of it here. That's the album. And I've got a copy that was especially edited for radio, so it's got all the swearing taken out of it. But also supplied to radio stations was 44 lines. And what is it? It's 44 quick liners that people at radio stations can use to punctuate their bits on morning radio. Hey, crazy, wild, nutty, crazy radio. So, yeah, I would guess that that Mikey at Breadman Record Night, he's got lots of weird records, because I've heard the stories of how he got into record collecting. It's really cool. But if you want to find out more about Grown Man Record Night, and you're not watching Grown Man Record Night already, what's wrong with you? Watch him. He's great. All right. Number three. Vinyl Richie showed a lot of test pressings too, which are not completely rare, but hey, it's cool to have a test pressing. And this pressing is the Bad Brains album, Rock for Light, the original American release on it, which was produced by the late, great Rick Ocasek. And there it is, test pressing from Hub Serval, a classic album and a test pressing of that. Okay, so that's number three. Number four. Actually, number four and number five. For Steely Dan fans, these records may be interesting, but I've never seen anybody show these. Here's an album by Terrence Boylan. It's just self-titled, Terrence Boylan. He did two albums. There was this one, and there was one called Susie. And there's Terrence, strapping young gentleman, and he is a songwriter. He wrote all the songs on this album. And the players on this album, he's got some top players. Jim Gordon, who killed his mom. Russell Kunkel, Jeff Porcaro, Chuck Rainey, David Jackson, Leland Sklar, all top session players in LA. Dean Parks, Victor Feldman, Donald Fagen, Jay Winding, who also played, well, he's a trombone player, Timothy B. Schmidt, actually, John Clemmer on sax, Gary Foster, Wilton Felder, and Don Henley. This album went nowhere, but this is not bad. If you're into Steely Dan type music, this is pretty good. Also, Mark Jordan, Mannequin, another singer-songwriter, Mark Jordan. He wrote just almost all these songs, and let me open this up. Oh, Lionel Richie hates this. Listen. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ah! Okay. Pull this record out. Okay. And let's see. Am I going to have to pull this completely apart? Yeah, I am. And this was a promo copy way back in the day. And let me pull out the inner sleeve. And this is produced by Gary Katz, who produced most of the Steely Dan albums. And players on this, we've got Jay Winding, who, as I was going to say, ended up on some Cheap Trick albums. Donald Fagen, Paul Griffin, David Foster, David Page, James Newton Howard, drums by Jeff Porcaro and Harvey Mason, percussion by Lenny Castro and Robert Greenridge, sax, Tom Scott, bunch of top-notch studio musicians. And I believe that Mark Jordan put out 2 albums as well. I forget the name of the second one. But this first one I liked a bit. Even though there's a song that sounds like he ripped it off of James Taylor's Shower the People on it. I have never seen anybody in the vinyl community show these, and I would be surprised if anybody's got this. So that's that. And you get to see me put this record together, like the way I'm trying to put all my records together, but I don't. Double sleeve your records, boys and girls. Discogs just put out a article about it. All right, so that's what, 4 and 5? Number 6, local Cleveland band, Archie and the Bunkers. This is a 2-piece band of, what are their names? Emmett and Cullen O'Connor. One plays keyboards, one plays drums. And it's kind of punky. And yeah, I'm going to have to show you this because it's on colored vinyl. And it is autographed, if you call that an autograph. When I asked them to autograph the record for me, they looked at me like I was brain damaged. And some may contend that I am. But check out that splatter vinyl. Woo! Nice. Okay. So, put that back away over here. So that's 6. Let's go to 7. This is a weird one. Very obscure because never saw this in a record store. And this was given to me by the artist himself. When did he give this to me? Was this 1978? I think so. The name of this album is Reheated Chocolate Tangos by Brian Sands. I was writing for Scene Magazine at the time that he gave me this. I went over to his house in Brooklyn, Ohio, which is a western suburb of Cleveland, sat and talked with him for hours about Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart, and he gave me a copy of this record. And it's kind of an EP. There's like 4 or 5 songs on it. It's on red vinyl. And the name of his label is Bizarre Records, kind of like bizarre, but truncated a little bit. And he's got all sorts of press clippings on this stuff. Brian was also very deeply into Mark Bolan of T-Rex. And a few years ago, he gave me a phone call and was talking to me about selling some records that he had or some records that he got from his mom who had passed away. And I had a nice long conversation on the phone with him then. And also, he does a copy of a Captain Beefheart song on this. Which one is it? Let's see. He does The Day the Elves Could Fly. Orange Tango. I think that's the Captain Beefheart song. He does a cover version of the Beatles' "Baby You're a Rich Man." Da-da-da-da. But anyway, so a couple years after I got that phone call from him, saw a thing on Facebook that he passed away. So, Brian, we miss you. Mikey at Redman Record Night says, my dad had a bunch of Tom Scott on tape when he was a kid. I met Tom Scott, and I have an album autographed by him. It's not that great, though. Another story about Tom Scott, the Paul McCartney song, Listen to What the Man Said. He does the sax solo on that. And the story about that is that he came in to do the overdub for the sax solo. Paul McCartney said, I'll play you the song so that you can get familiar with it, and then we can record the solo. So they play him the song, and he plays along with it, and he, plays some nice sounding stuff. And the song finishes, and he says, okay, I'm ready to record. And they said, nope, you can go home. We recorded that. That's what's going on the record. So that is the story behind that sax solo. Okay, on these obscure records, let's see. We're going to number 8. Now, there may be plenty of you out there. Let's see, I think Rob Clark, Elavox in Illinois, he probably has a copy of this because he is a fan of the band Negativland. And this is their first album. But one really cool thing about Negativland, here's their insert, and here is the record. This first album, all formats that came out of this, including the CD, all had handmade covers. They cut this stuff out. This is a piece of black paper on this. Then there's a cutout here. Get a real shine in seconds. And this picture of this guy with these 2 cars here. And then you've got wallpaper on the back of here with pasted on the credits for the album. That's the very first Negativland album. If you like weirdness and found sound, you're going to love Negativland. Great, bizarre, weird stuff. All right, number 9. And I don't know if anybody else has this. Anybody remember this guy? Plastique Bertrand? He had a song, and let me pull it out here, because let's see, PL. I know I got it here because I was looking at it last night. He had a hit with a song called Ça plaint pour moi. Ça plaint pour moi, 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 ça plaint pour moi. Ooh, ça plaint pour moi. Okay, that was his one hit in the US. But I followed the guy a little bit, and I got a couple more of his records, and this is one of them. It's all done in French. I mean, every now and again there's an English word in here, but man, everything is in French on here. All the little cartoon bubbles, they're all in French. The songs are sung in French. All the instruments are played in French. I don't know. But Plastique Bertrand, I don't think anybody in the vinyl community has a copy of this. And if you do, good to you. That's number 9. And number 10. Back to Blue Note here. This is a weird one. This is an album by Freddie Roach. He's a funky organ player, had a lot of albums on Blue Note. And this is called All That's Good. Picked this up for $10 on eBay. And there's writing all over this record. I mean, whoever had this originally wrote all sorts of stuff on here. His own little notes about this. And he even put whiteout on here to blank out who is playing on the record. Okay, So let's see. Does it say anything about who plays on this album? No, it doesn't. But this is not necessarily a jazz album. It's almost a gospel album. Freddie Roach wrote 4 of the 6 songs on here. There's also the song "Busted," which I believe Ray Charles did, and a Kenny Burrell tune. And this has a choir of women singing on this. So this is almost like funky gospel. This is really some unusual stuff. Oh, wait a second. I printed out a list of who plays on this. Okay, Conrad Lester on tenor, Freddie Roach on organ, Calvin Newborn on guitar, Clarence Johnson on drums, and then a bunch of other people on voices. Recorded, of course, at the Rudy Van Gelder studio. And let me pull out the record and show it to you real quick. Good old microgroove. And I guess somebody bought this in 1990 and marked it all up. So, all right. Uh-oh. Yeah, I will eventually get around to that. Mikey, thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you next Friday night on Grown Men Record Night. Um, they start out on Twitch around 8 o'clock, 8:30, playing stuff, and then about 11:30 midnight they simulcast on Twitch and on YouTube. Great show, and chips, sodas, drinking, records, fun time. All right. So that's number 10. All That's Good by Freddie Roach. Never seen this anywhere, never even heard of this until I bought this copy. So that is that. So why did I just do all of those and not subscribe to TKR? Well, I didn't subscribe to TKR because I really didn't enjoy the channel. So that's why. But the thing that really ticks me off is Vinyl Richie then goes ahead and he says, I got this list here, and he pulls out a like a spiral notebook or something, and he names all of these people in the vinyl community, um, people known and unknown, and people that don't show any obscure records ever. And he says, I want to see all these people make this video of 10 obscure records that you don't think anybody else has. And he goes down, and I'm thinking, well, I watch all of his videos. I comment on a lot of his videos. He comments back to me. He's commented on some of my videos. He's a good guy. I love Vinyl Richie. First time I started watching him, I really thought he was a bit too brash for words, but he grew on me real quick, and he's one of the best. But he's going down, and he names about, say, I think maybe, I didn't count, but it sounded like, say, 40 different channels as he wants them to make this video. And I was hoping that I would be in the list, but I wasn't. But that's all right. I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt. But the idea of the video of the 10 obscure records that you don't think anybody else has, that uh, intrigued me. That's why I did it. And I got lots of other obscure records that I don't think anybody else has, but that's more videos for another time. So it's almost 9 o'clock, and I have not yet gone for a full hour. Are there any questions that anybody here wants to voice before I sign off? Because, like I said, I had planned to do a much different show tonight. And in the past hour or two, plans changed. I have to go and take off and take care of something. So that's that. Uh-oh, people are already dropping off. At one point, I had like 15 people here. Now it's 8, and probably going to be 7 in a second, then 6, then 5, 4, 3. Let's see. Hello, Left Break Vinyl. I already said hello to Scotty Strychnine and Zeb. And hello, Wasaga George. And Mr. Bizarro, hope you're still watching. So that is pretty much all that's going on in this world. I'll be getting some more records this week. I'm working on a couple of other new videos. Scotty's still here. Scotty, you're cool. And I'm still working on the first in a series of Devo videos. And I know that I cannot do these videos anywhere near as good as Michael Pilmer, but I just want to give my views on these Devo records. So I'm going to show that. So that's about everything that's going on. I'll give you some sound effects because I love this toy. I've had this since the 80s, and I still love it. All right, that is it. Had a great time. Hope you did too, and I hope that I can give you a much better show next week. Appreciate you guys watching in, and go listen to some music. And I hope you have a great week. Later, boys and girls, and everybody else who's watching. Love you.